And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the great Steve Wozniak.
You're an inspiration. Wow. I mean, don't you agree?
Well, I'm still such a geek. I'm so different than normal people. I'm just still an outsider in a lot of ways. But you grow up that way, and you try to look for the unusual things to do and be.
I think that's what people love about you, though. You're such a real person, and so many people can relate to you. I want to start way back when you were a child. I don't know if anybody of you know, but in 6th grade, you built a radio transmitter. I mean, not too many 6th graders are doing that. So what inspired you, and how did you even know how to do that?
What inspired me was a book I read, and the ham radio operators who could send messages to each other in another city, another state, another country. Wow, this was exciting. They were the heroes of the book. And at the end of the book, it said, here's where you can order your materials to learn to be a ham radio operator. I said, wow, I am going to be a ham radio operator because there's no license. There's no age limit like driver's licenses. And my parents, thankfully, one Christmas was the most incredible Christmas of my life. I got these 2 big Hallicrafter kits, boxes full of blank parts and assembly instructions, how you could hook together every little dial and the little the cords between them, and solder all the things in place and the vacuum tubes and power it on. And man, that was a great experience. But I was building other large projects there on my own anyway, besides just radio stuff.
So it started very early on.
That was the same year I built a project with hundreds of transistors and diodes and resistors that would make decisions about the game of tic-tac-toe and would never lose a game of tic-tac-toe. It was like a computer made out of transistors. Little tiny decision makers like neurons. You know what? My father never said, here's what you should be in life. You should be like me. You should be an electrical engineer. I just went down to where he worked, and I was amazed, and I watched him work at home, and I wanted to be an engineer. And then I learned electronics. And when I had questions, he helped teach me. You didn't have any courses in school on this kind of stuff, how do electrons flow through certain materials and what changes them, and he taught me that stuff. So, and I just thought it was just normal, fun thing. This is the thing I'm going to be in my life. And I wanted to be an engineer to build those sort of things. And my dad's convinced me that if we build enough of these nice machines, they'll do work that we used to do, and we won't have to work as hard. And our work week might go down from the one person in the family that had to work, might go down from 5 days a week to 4 days a week. That's all we'd have to work. We'd have more time for fun.
We'll go to Hewlett-Packard, because you said that you never imagined, you always were going to be an engineer. That's what you were going to do. And so you brought the personal computer idea to them 5 times, and they denied you. So yeah. Did you ever imagine that you would leave there and go on to create Apple II?
Well, let's go through 5 times. First of all, I was going to build that computer that year once I discovered a formula that I could afford a full computer with 4K of memory. And once I saw that formula, I was going to build it, and I was going to build it to show off, A, my engineering prowess, which was very unusual, and B, to help other people start the revolution. And I gave away my design for free, the first one. Now, after I'd been doing that, I was kind of a hero at my club showing off this computer. I was going to be an engineer for life at HP. I would never give up my job at HP in those days to start a company. But so I pleaded with HP, here's a great computer you can make. You're making calculators. That's kind of consumer. This computer is going to be fun. It's going to go into homes. It's going to let people solve their own problems and write programs and all that. And they turned me down. And then a local store wanted to buy $50,000 worth of computers with all the parts in them. $50,000 was the biggest financial shock of my life to this day. And I sat there, oh my God, it's twice my salary. So I went to Hewlett-Packard's legal department, and then they sent it to every single Hewlett-Packard division. Didn't have an interest in building these little home computers. But like I said, nobody could really tell it was going to be worth money. Sometimes, when something disruptive comes along, you don't see it at first. But that was the Hewlett-Packard, that's the Hewlett-Packard side. But getting there were a lot of steps, building up, getting closer and closer to what would become the Apple II computer, and it would be basically, our only successful product for the first 10 years of Apple. That was a big one. I love hearing other people talk about getting turned on by it, because I got turned on by accident, discovering things no kid could discover when I was young about how computers worked. And I said, oh my God, that's me. That's in my heart. That's what I love. I want to know more about these ones and zeros and how to make decisions with logic. And I wanted to get that out there with all the documentation in the Apple II, everything, so that people could learn on their own. This is actually what I love in life, and I never would have encountered it without this, an affordable, good computer.
Keith Sturgill talked about Moore's Law and the inevitable doubling of technology every year or two. What's your perspective on the speed?
Okay. Everybody kind of knows that Moore's Law is why our machines got smarter and smarter and did more and more for us and became so much more natural and human. At one point you could handwrite to a machine, and now you can speak to a machine and it kind of understands you sometimes. But it's sort of like they use this phrase artificial intelligence. I think it's kind of wrong, because in very old days, decades ago, I was taught artificial intelligence, where now we just sort of like solving chess. We program a set of rules and methods that come from the humans, and that's simulated intelligence, not artificial. It's not real intelligence, it's simulated intelligence. And that's still pretty much the stage that we're trying to crack through. Even the machines that learn on their own never once come up with an idea, this is what I should do. What's an approach that might work? And here's an approach that might get me to my end goal, to solve problems of the world. We're not that stage, and I don't know if we're going to really get there along with the singularity in 2045. We can equal the amount of processing of the brain, but if we don't equal its structure, its model, we aren't going to have artificial intelligence machines that grow up like us, having conflicts and enemies and friends and partnerships and outthinking us. I don't really believe in that. I think they're just going to be working to solve jobs that we've defined and helping us for a long, long time, far past the singularity even. That's going to be staged. They're going to be our helpful friends, and I worry about it. But I did think it'd be neat if these machines got smart, a little walking guy like I'm a piece of metal here talking to you. If they could be just that natural and personable, they could become your friend. And they could tell you, hey, here's something you might want to listen to or work on, and I'll present it for you. They could be teachers. What if we had this teacher that was a computer, is low-cost teacher, but it was so personable, whether it's virtual reality is needed or just a screen, so personable, looking at my face, knowing my facial expression, knowing my family, knowing what's going on in my life. It's a friend. Once it becomes a best friend, look how many people carry around their smartphones, and it's almost like this is my personal friend. My brain waves are similar to those falling in love. Is it possible that could be the real guide, but it would have to be more human?
Well, this was a great adventure. Thank you so much. I wish we had more time, but we need to wrap this up, and we could talk for hours, I'm sure, but
I know the people in this audience do the things that I love in life.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time to be with us and everyone who's watching, so I really appreciate it.